Okay, hot takes. Let's do our hot takes after this. I to be blunt, I don't think she's good. Um, she's just not good. She's not good. She feels clunky to play. She feels really clunky to play. And again, this is from a solo perspective, so we'll try her multiplayer at some time and see if it's better. Uh, but you need the coat and you need the glasses. I feel like to just get back to normal, right? Like I feel like I'm starting off as a 1-1-2 stat line, super weak, super weak, and I need to be able to trigger her coat and her glasses. I need the stat buffs from it. Like I need a lot. Um, so yeah, that feels rough. It feels like Wolverine is just so expensive for what he like. I don't. Wolverine just feels like he doesn't make sense at all. I like the idea when you flip down, he heals up, but then you're relying on your confused cards, which isn't terrible as long as you get them. And again, if you get two flashes of light together or two of the attack cards, um, whatchamacallit, firecracker, like it feels like you stall out because you're not doing your thing. You're not stunning, you can't stun constantly, so her attack is weak because you can stun, which is fine. But the problem is if I pull two firecrackers, it's like it's useless then. Like I just feel like I'm wasting the attack. Grand finale, because there's only one of them, I can't spread out to minions. um that he arguably inferior to his aspect card. His aspect card is 1,000 times better with Wolverine. It's 1,000 times better. Holy cow, is it better? I Shopping spree. I do not like that card. I don't think it's a well done card. I just like it feels like you have to stay down for 2 rounds to make the most of it. Like I like the idea behind it, but I don't understand why it's so restrictive on alter ego. I just don't understand that. Okay. String glasses, sunglasses coat really good. Is it going to be a Nick first choice win? Miles doesn't need upgrades and play. All his boosts are printed on his hero card. Throw in a pile of Rogue. I would rather play Rogue 1,000 times more than this. 1,000 times more. How disappointed are you since you were hyped for her? I'm really disappointed. I mean, just to be frank, it's really disappointing. Like this just it does. I mean, we've tried several different decks now. Granted, aggression, her justice precon deck was bad, and I get it. Um, that's fine. I don't really expect much from a precon deck, so that's fine. But we did leadership, which I was really hoping sidekick would work well. It doesn't. Wolverine's just too expensive. It doesn't work, especially with how her kit works. Um, a leadership ally swarm I thought would be the best build, and it feels like it just doesn't work. Like everything felt like it just didn't work, and it felt like I was fighting her deck the entire time. And every time I drew cards, I was like, well, half of these aren't even useless, or half of them are useless, half of them aren't even useful. So I would rather play Rogue every single time. So honestly, yeah, I was really hyped for her because I like the idea of stunning, confusing over and over and over, because it works really well, like we said with Miles. For solo, that's a huge thing, and it feels like that's the bone they're trying to throw solo players, and it doesn't work in practice. On the level of Valkyrie and Doctor Strange, where does she land? Much closer to Strange. It's crazy that arguably inferior to his aspect card. Yeah, Wolverine. Yeah. Nova at least gains a resource generator for one wild and helps. She should have something else to make her more unique. Like, what's her hook? I guess, I guess stunning and confused. I don't know. I don't know. I played her solo and I like playing her in standard. Expert was super rough for me. I couldn't even imagine expert. I haven't struggled this hard with a like Iceman. I didn't like a lot, right? I thought Iceman was fine. I would rather play Iceman all day, every day than this. She's not top 15, but I think she's really good. Definitely weaker in the stalwart. Still a bunch of statuses for steady, though. I couldn't even get the statuses to work all the time. That was my problem. To me, she's in my bottom half, and it's not even close as of right now. Obviously, that could change over time. I'm not going to review her yet because I have so much more to to play with her and try her into things. But again, these are just super hot takes. Unfortunately, I think Jubilee is the worst hero in quite a while. Maybe the worst in the X-Men. Not including X-Force. I hate Colossus. I would rather play Colossus right now. She had to have been built and prioritized for multi. Rogue is actually much better. I just played her before Jubilee, and it was a lot of fun. Yeah. She feels like Miss Marvel, Miles, and Nova, but worse than all of them. Yeah. Everyone except for Villain seems to be struggling her. I decided not to buy her, which is sad. That is sad. Like I if people like her, I say go for it and get it. Some of the cards in there are interesting, but man, this is just yeah. I like her way more than Iceman. It's good. I mean, it just shows everyone's different opinion on things. Maybe she should have shopping spree as her alter ego ability. I don't know. I don't know. No real interesting decisions to make in game with her either. Yeah, I agree. I tried the precon against Expert Ronin, got absolutely demolished by one attack. Oh yeah. High cost heroes are usually subpar. Hey Esteban, how's it going? Don't be rash. It would have been cool if she had a card where she expands, stuns, or confuses to do an effect, like more damage or something. That way to treat them as resources. Yeah. I think I agree with you all that one of the big things with Miles was that he was able to get a tough status constantly. And that helps a lot, right? That helps a ton with him. I'm not even gonna bother playing her against a stalwart villain. Right? It doesn't even seem like it'd be fun or interesting to do. Now, again, it doesn't mean that like she's bad because of that. Not every hero has to be, super high tuned to beat every single villain. I'm totally okay with that because there's only a handful of villains that are really stalwart all the way through. So that's fine, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Same with Steady. That's fine. But I mean, we're playing Claw. I haven't struggled this hard against Claw in years. I mean, in years. I struggled no matter what I did with her. Maybe having cards that force the villain to attack you, scheme will work so you can get status cards more. Maybe. It depends how cheap they are. If I can get them cheap, then maybe. Like those force attack and confuse things. Maybe. I don't know. And look, I will say that look, maybe I just haven't figured out my hook for her yet, right? Like I just haven't figured out how to make her work for me, right? So I'm not like writing her off completely. I'm just saying I have not. There are a lot of heroes that I've been bad with and I haven't liked. I have not struggled that hard in Marvel Champions in like a really long time. A really long time. And it just felt like no matter what, I couldn't do the things the game wants me to do with her. Claw's my nemesis, never won against that stinks. It's one cost? Okay. Taunt Jubilee? Maybe. Maybe a protection Jubilee is the way to go. I don't know. She is a glass. She's not even a glass cannon. She's just glass. Played her against a steady villain, Dark Beast with the setting that gives him steady, and found her able to consistently status him. I mean, that's the thing. We did say, to be fair, that we were getting stacked on stuns, right? So I would have been able to play my 2 stuns. So maybe her strength is against steady villains, right? And that she can kind of do work on them. So we'll reserve judgment until that for sure. The risk is all not worth the reward. Yeah. I don't know. Like her resource generator, like I liked the idea if I could exploit her resource generator. The idea of exhausting her to generate a resource, but it's not limited per phase, is like a cool idea with like readying her up and then using her resource and readying her up, right? Like I like that idea, but it got back to the point where, okay, if I have 2 firecrackers in my hand though, that doesn't matter anymore. You know what I mean? So what was the point with that? I think that's the other part of the problem. Did you run Utopia? I did. I ran Utopia and it helped a little bit, but again, it's just if I had 2 firecrackers and 1 enemy, it was completely useless to have to ready her up because I would want to play the damage cards and I couldn't. You know what I mean? How do you feel about her Wolverine? Don't like it. We tried her Wolverine on the what's it called? Sidekick build. Could not get that to work. It's just so expensive. You need to be an alter ego to make it work, and I'm just like dragging out an alter ego for a really long time. Jubilee wants to play event, different resource, shopping spree, need 9 hit points, and yeah, Wolverine is there too, I guess. If it were me, I'd run her in protection with Utopia and Polaris and establish perimeter. We might have to do in the future. We're not gonna do it tonight because I can't play her anymore. Sorry, just hit that mic. A tough status protection build might be the way to go. She's not a glass cannon, she's just glass. Top notch quote. Protection can be valuable. What doesn't kill me? Maybe. What doesn't kill me like heals her and readies her up, right? So yeah, maybe. Maybe we should think they're lacking with the deck testing. I won't even get into that because I don't think they've done that for quite some time. Yeah, that was just rough. That was really rough. It was really rough. So look, I guess to end the hot take really fast. I'm not writing her off by any means. I feel like we can figure this out and at least get her like somewhat there. But yeah, it feels rough. It feels rough. It just feels clunky. It feels like nothing works well together. Maybe with Steady, she works better, being able to put on the constant statuses, but it's rough. So honestly, this was a hero I was really excited for because I like the idea of her. And yeah, in practice, I'm not a fan of it, unfortunately.